When a county in southern Ohio saw a sharp spike in the number of fatal opioid-related overdoses, they responded by forming PORT, the Post-Overdose Response Team. Esther Honig of Side Effects, which is a public media project, reports on how Ross County, Ohio, has enlisted local law enforcement, addiction treatment services, and the health department to work together and help curb overdoses.
The treatment people would be really good.
Every Wednesday morning in Chillicothe, Ohio, this overdose task force meets. There's a police officer, a sheriff's deputy, and a social worker from a local addiction treatment center. The group sets out to follow up with each person in Ross County who overdosed the week before. Their mission? Get them into treatment. The program started after a string of fatal overdoses in 2016, and county leaders came together to find a solution.
Out of the meetings came a decision that we needed some type of team to go out and speak with people that have overdosed, either their families or both, family and the overdose victim, and somebody named it PORT, which is a Post-Overdose Response Team.
PORT allows law enforcement to take on the role of a social worker. They talk to residents about addiction and help them find treatment, even if that means driving them to facilities out of state when there's nothing available in their area. Today, the team follows up with just 4 overdoses. In the past, they've had as many as 20.
I'd just like to come in one day, we don't have any.
At their first stop, resident Chad Lurdy is shocked when the PORT team tells him his friend struggles with addiction.
I think very highly of him, and my heart's broke. I had no idea he had a problem.
Recently, PORT began offering training on how to use the overdose reversal drug naloxone, also known as Narcan.
Dave Weber, one of the deputies, said that you're in a position to be really helpful in this situation.
I'll try. I mean, I don't want to see anybody die.
And you think you might go through the Narcan training?
I'm gonna very seriously consider that.
Here in Ross County, the rate of fatal opioid-related overdoses is nearly double the national average and one of the highest in the state. Now, PORT, with a relatively small budget, has managed to get people the resources they need in time to hopefully prevent more of these overdoses from happening.
Still, not everyone supports what they do.
We have some people that are upset that we give Narcan. You know, they say that it was this person's choice to do it, you know, but we kind of, you know, we don't buy that. My response to them is, what if it were your son, daughter, or wife, or husband laying there on the ground? Would you want us to turn around and walk away?
You guys need to go to them because these people are not in a situation where they can necessarily seek out help themselves.
Yep. When we first get there, they're reluctant to speak with us. We explain what we're there for, and we're not going to arrest them. We're not there in a law enforcement capacity. And you know, most of them open up and talk to us.
Jessica Lutz overdosed at a store with her daughters. She remembers when the PORT team came to her door a few days later.
My doorbell rang, and I was scared to death because here comes my mom, like, there's an officer and a woman at your front door, and you know they want to talk to you. And I walked out there, and the officer said, I'm not here to arrest you. I'm just here to make sure she's okay. She would just like to talk to you. And I met Tracy Hathaway.
This ain't working.
The social worker, who was also a recovering addict, convinced Jessica that there were resources that would help her get clean.
There is hope that people can recover. She was doing it. There was this place of people that are doing it all the time that I did not know existed. You know, all these recovery places that we don't hear about.
PORT got Jessica into outpatient care immediately, and after a month, a bed at a nearby recovery center.
That's really cute.
Right now, there are only a few programs like this in Ohio, but local lawmakers recently put aside over $1 million to be able to replicate PORT in cities across the state.
And the stakes are higher than ever. Each day, more than 142 people in the U.S. die from a drug overdose. That's more than the number of people who die from gun violence and car accidents combined. It's something that Jessica doesn't take for granted. She came home from rehab and credits PORT with having saved her life.
Just to have that conversation after something like that happens, and no matter who you are, that's so scary. We don't want to die. We just don't know how not to use. And to find somebody that understands that and knows that we don't want to wake up and do these things every day. There's no pleasure in what we have to go through each and every day. Just to listen to that conversation and know that it really can happen is what changed everything for me.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Esther Honig in Chillicothe, Ohio.